You've probably stood in front of a simple decision and somehow made it complicated. What should I choose? Is this the best option? What if there's something better? And suddenly something small feels exhausting. Hello and welcome back to Bookworm. Today we're diving into The Paradox of Choice, a book that explains something frustrating. More choices don't make you happier, they make you stressed. We like to believe more options mean more freedom, more control, better outcomes. But in reality, more choices often lead to more doubt, more pressure, and more regret. Because when you have too many options, you don't just choose, you worry. Stay with me as we dive deeper, because once you understand this, you'll see why even good decisions can feel wrong. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.
You know, we've all been sold this idea that freedom of choice is one of the most important things for our well-being, that the more options we have, the better off we are. But what if that's not just wrong? What if it's the complete opposite? What if the very thing that's supposed to set us free is actually the thing making us miserable? So let's kick things off with a super simple, almost ridiculously universal experience. It comes from the psychologist Barry Schwartz, and it's not some huge life-changing moment. Nope. It's about something we've all done, just trying to buy a pair of jeans. He walked into the store thinking, this will take 5 minutes. But instead, he got hit with a wall of questions. I mean, just look at this list. What used to be a simple purchase has morphed into this complex research project. Suddenly, you have to consider every single option. Is slim fit too slim? Does relaxed fit mean I've just given up on life? Is the distressed look cool, or am I trying too hard? You get this wave of anxiety before you even walk into the dressing room. And that feeling, that paralysis, sound familiar? It should, because it's not just about jeans anymore, is it? It's our grocery stores, our Netflix queue, our career choices. It is literally everywhere. And that feeling right there, that gets to the absolute heart of this massive paradox in our modern lives. We say we want freedom, we say we want choice, but the explosion of options we now have isn't actually making us any happier. In fact, there's a ton of evidence showing it's doing the exact opposite. Okay, this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got what Schwartz calls the official dogma. It's the story we all tell ourselves. More choice means more freedom. More variety means more satisfaction. It seems logical, right? But then you look at the right side, the reality. More choice doesn't equal freedom, it equals paralysis. And more variety doesn't bring satisfaction, it brings anxiety. So the big question is, why? Why does having an abundance of really good options actually make us feel so bad? Well, it's not just some vague, fuzzy feeling of being overwhelmed. Turns out there are some very specific psychological traps that our brains just can't help but fall into. Let's break down the 3 hidden culprits that turn this supposed gift of choice into a real burden. All right, first up, opportunity cost. Now, this sounds like some dry economic term, but believe me, the psychological sting is powerful. Put it this way, every time you say yes to one thing, you are by definition saying no to the benefits of all the other things you didn't choose. If you're picking between 2 ice cream flavors, no big deal. But when there are 50 flavors or 100 shows to watch, all the good things about the options you rejected start to add up in your head, and they literally subtract from the enjoyment of the thing you actually picked. And this cartoon, I mean, it's dark humor, but it absolutely nails the point. A huge life decision, like having kids, comes with gigantic opportunity costs. You're trading away time, money, spontaneity. The cartoon's obviously a joke, but that feeling is so real. The more alternatives we have, whether it's a life partner or just what to do on a Friday night, the more the attractive features of the things we didn't choose kind of haunt us and chip away at the joy of our final decision. The second culprit is regret. And as you can see here, it comes in 2 pretty toxic flavors. First, you've got anticipated regret. This is that awful feeling you get before you even make a choice. What if I take this job and a better one opens up next week? That fear can be so strong that you just don't decide at all. But then there's post-decision regret, which we all know as buyer's remorse. After you've made your pick, your brain gets stuck in that if-only loop. With a million other options out there, it's almost guaranteed that some other choice had one feature you wish yours had, making it incredibly easy to feel like you screwed up. And the third culprit, this one is huge, the tyranny of high expectations. Think about it. When there were only 3 kinds of salad dressing at the store, you were just happy to find one you liked. But now there are 150. And with all those options, the expectation becomes that one of them has to be perfect. And the burden is now on you to find it. This just jacks up the bar for satisfaction to an impossible level. And when you make a choice, let's say you go on a vacation, and it's, pretty good, it feels like a failure. The genuine pleasure you could have gotten from a great experience is just wiped out by the disappointment that it wasn't flawless. So this all leads to a really crucial point. How do we even begin to navigate this world of insane choice? Our happiness really depends on it. And that brings us to 2 totally different kinds of decision makers, 2 fundamentally different approaches to life. And as I go through them, I want you to seriously ask yourself, which one of these sounds more like me? Okay, so on the left, we have the maximizer. We all know this person. Maybe we are this person. The maximizer feels this deep compulsion to check out every single option to guarantee they're making the absolute 100% best possible choice. They'll read 200 reviews before buying a blender. They can't be sure they found the best sweater until they've seen all the sweaters. Now, compare that to the person on the right, the satisficer. This is someone who has a standard, a set of criteria for what is good enough. They search until they find something that meets that standard, and then they stop. They buy the blender, they move on with their life. And folks, the research on this is it's not even a debate. It's shockingly clear. Just look at this chart. Now, maximizers might get slightly better objective results, a slightly cheaper flight, a camera with 1 more megapixel, but their subjective experience, how they feel about it, is way, way worse. You can see it right here. The more you tend to maximize, that bar for happiness goes down, and the bars for regret and even clinical depression, they go way up. That constant pressure to find the absolute best just takes a massive psychological toll. Now, I know this all sounds pretty bleak, but here's the really good news. We are not stuck. This isn't about just throwing our hands up and blaming the modern world. It's about developing strategies to actually thrive in it. So let's talk about the antidote. We can actually learn to choose how we choose. So how do we fight back against this overload? Here are 4 super practical steps. Number 1, limit your options. You have to do it consciously. Decide ahead of time you'll only look at 3 new cars, not 30. This creates a manageable choice, and it drastically lowers that opportunity cost we talked about. Number 2, embrace good enough. Learn to be a satisficer. Decide what your criteria are before you start looking, and the second you find something that checks the boxes, pull the trigger. Stop the search. Number 3, regret less. This one's tough, but you can train yourself. Once a decision is made, make it non-negotiable. Don't go back and check the price of the flight you didn't book. Focus on what's good about the choice you made. And finally, number 4, control your expectations. Just keep reminding yourself that perfect is the enemy of great. If you lower the bar from the best vacation ever to a really nice vacation, you actually give yourself a chance to be happy. This cartoon just captures that feeling perfectly, doesn't it? Total, absolute freedom. It can feel like its own kind of cage. In the end, true liberation isn't found in an endless ocean of possibility. It's found in creating meaningful, manageable constraints for ourselves. By choosing our own boundaries, we free ourselves up to actually enjoy everything that's inside them. So the next time you're just frozen, endlessly scrolling through a streaming service, paralyzed by the sheer number of choices, I want you to remember this paradox. Remember that the real secret to happiness isn't having access to everything. It's being truly satisfied with having enough. Because sometimes the most liberating choice you can possibly make is to choose less.
If there's one idea to take from this book, it's this. More choice doesn't always mean more happiness. The paradox of choice shows that when options increase, so does pressure. We start expecting the perfect decision, and when reality doesn't match that expectation, we feel disappointed, even if the choice was good. That's the trap. Because instead of enjoying what we chose, we think about what we didn't choose. And that creates regret. But once you understand this pattern, you can change it. You can simplify. You can stop chasing perfect and just choose enough. If this made you rethink your decisions, like the video, subscribe to Bookworm and stay aware, because sometimes less really is more.